you wanted the best, you've got the best podcast. The hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hi, folks. It's Voss here from the ChrisVossShow.com. Oh, my gosh, the Chris Voss Show. That shrill voice means that we are live on the Chris Voss Show. We certainly appreciate having you guys, as always. Refer the show to your family, friends, and relatives. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss, Chris Voss 1 on the TikTok, any and all those crazy places on the internet. Today, we're going to be talking about a product I'm in love with. And I know there's a disclosure claim on the Chris Voss Show for FTC stuff that says we don't endorse products unless said otherwise. In this case, we do. Sincerely, above and beyond. Like I'll walk around and knock on doors for this product and proselyte on Saturday morning. Have you heard about our Lord and Savior, Real Men Underwear? Opinions expressed by guests on the podcast are solely their own and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the host or the Chris Voss Show. Some guests of the show may be advertising on the podcast, but it is not an endorsement or review of any kind. So we're going to be talking about some of this details of stuff and all that good stuff, and I fully endorse the product if you hear otherwise on the Chris Voss Show disclaimer. He is the founder and chief designer of Real Men Apparel Company, the most size-inclusive men's underwear brand with A, B, C, D pouch sizes. Jared Mortensen joins us on the show, the founder and chief designer. Welcome to the show. How are you, sir?
I am doing amazing. I really appreciate you having me on here. I'm super, super excited to talk with you. It's super awesome to, one, you just got an amazing show, and then two, you love our product. So anybody that loves our stuff has got to be a great person. So
we've had CEOs, billionaires, White House presidential advisors, Pulitzer Prize winners, some of the most amazing, smartest people in the world, and now we've got underwear CEOs on the show. So we're hitting our stride.
Yeah, absolutely.
So give us the .coms. Where can people find out about you on the interwebs?
Our website's rmac.store, but we're really the biggest on Amazon and then TikTok. You know, we've been the top men's apparel brand on TikTok. We're probably in the top 20 right now. I had a bunch of Chinese guys, jump in there, but top underwear brand on TikTok. So literally, you go to any social, you search for Real Men Apparel, and we're going to pop up.
What's the key or unique feature to Real Men Apparel?
So this is like the big thing. Men's underwear is traditionally designed like dudes are Ken dolls, right? Like they don't actually have genitals. And so I don't know who designed these things like 50 years ago. And like innovation underwear is like neon colors and making the logo bigger, right? Mm-hmm. And so they're really designed like you don't have a package. And so we came up with an A, B, C, D pouch size classification for dudes package. So similar to women's bra sizing, because guys are different shapes and sizes, women are different shapes and sizes. So it's about time guys actually had products that actually fit their body shape and size.
Amen, brother. I've always had a problem with the tighty-whitey underwears.
Yeah,
I could never wear them, and I've been told by I've dated a woman or two, maybe 3, 4, maybe 5, and I've been told that I have a lot more going on, and I'm not just talking about the stick; I'm talking about the berries. Yeah, and so I was cruising TikTok, like I have been. I have a bit of an addiction. I'm one of those people who sit there for 2 hours and then wake up and be like, "The sun's up? What?" I'll watch one more before I go to sleep. Yeah. And I saw your guys' ad come on, and I saw how it really helped. And I was like, and then I've been suffering from a hernia too. So I've got there's some stuff hanging around that area. Yeah. And that needed some support. And all my life I'm going to call it freeballing it. All my life I freeballed it. So I've worn boxers and never worn tighty-whities. I can't wear tighty-whities. I'm not a person who can cross their legs over like a woman can. There's a lot of guys that can do that. God bless them. But if just seeing that makes me cringe and want to curl up into a ball, but it's not physically possible. If you make fun of guys who man sit or whatever it's called, spread sitting, man spreading or whatever it's called, I actually have to do that. That's not an option. So, and wearing boxers all my life has not been fun. If you go into a cold environment, you get a wind blast up there. It's like, it's not fun. You know, you just got stuff hanging around, banging around. Yeah. I have to sleep with a pillow between my legs because shit can get crushed. It's a problem, people. It's suffrage. And right now, people are like, oh, this sounds like sounds like a real horrible thing. So I saw you guys' ad, and I was like, fuck it. I've never seen anything like this. You guys have these different sizes, A, B, C, D, depending upon the size of your package and what you need to put in there. And then I guess the nylons are kind of compression based. I've really loved that because it gives me really good support. And, you know, I've never had that with boxers. I mean, I'm 56 years old when I discovered this. I think in January of last year is when I discovered you guys. Yeah. And I got the underwear. It gave me the support. It gave me the hernia support, which is really important. But just gave me the support and just to be warm.
Yeah.
Just to be warm for the first time in my life, being able to walk around. And you know what? I got to tell you, it made me feel more secure. It made me feel more put together. It made me feel, I didn't realize how much of it was fucking with me. Yeah. But it just made me just feel complete. Like I was just a solid human being and I wasn't some guy walking around with some bunch of crap slapping around, freeballing it. And so I loved it. I've ordered probably about $500 or $600 worth of stuff from you. So like I said, folks, I endorse it. I'm really a fan of the V-Fly stuff because the V-Fly, I hope you never get rid of that. The V-Fly acts like a shock absorber for me. Yeah. So I was joking with you before the show that I actually probably need an E, but the fact that the V can kind of act like a shock absorber, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. And then of course the easy access if you got to go to the bathroom and stuff like that. I've ordered I hate the modals, by the way. Yeah. I love the nylon. That's just a preference. You guys might like the modals, but I love the nylon. I like the support. And let's see, I've got the briefs, I've got the long johns, I've got the short shorts, I've got a bunch of variations, and then
you got everything.
And then what was funny, we were talking about before the show, and I know I'm dominating right here for a second, but what's funny is the nylon is compression, and so I actually feel like I lost some weight because I went from a 5 and it was really tight on me, and after wearing it for a while I felt like I lost some of the fat in my butt, and I went down to a 4, and now I'm between a 3 and a 4. So that's my experience. Tell me what you think about that, I guess.
Yeah, no, so it's opposite. The thing is, there's a lot of just personal preferences as well, right? So Modal is actually our top selling set. So the Modal, which is organic, you know, a lot of people are like, I want cotton or something like that. Yeah. Modal is twice as soft as cotton, antimicrobial, anti-odor. But that's kind of what most people are wearing from a, you know, casual, you know, everyday wear type thing because it's soft. But Modal is just way better than cotton. But most people just they're just not familiar with it. But I prefer the nylon, actually nylon mesh. So we've launched a couple different nylon mesh products lately. So this is actually the newest one. It's a nylon mesh with the V-Fly. So I'm super excited about those. And so that's typically what I'm wearing. But it really comes down to what you need. And so that's what we're trying to do is provide products that have, you know, for different feels, right? Whether you like a soft feel, you like a smooth feel. And a lot of guys have never tried nylon. Like you talk about it, people are like, what do you wear to work out? I'm like, I wear nylons. No, so I mean, guys are just not familiar with the material, right? And so they're only thought a lot of dudes when they think about nylon, it's like pantyhose or something like that, right? And so they really don't realize that, hey, dude, this stuff is really smooth and it's slick and it feels really, really good, right? And so it's like, how do you give products to guys that actually will meet their needs that feel good to them and support them? And so that's why we have a number of different styles and different fabrics.
Yeah, and I think the V, I bought a few of the ones that it's closed off. I'm not sure what you call it, but
a no-fly.
The no-fly. I bought a couple of those. I liked them, but that V gives me a really good shock absorber. Yeah. It seems like I don't know, and it gives me a little bit of breathing room, you know. Yeah. Because it's I don't deal with being closed off or compressed in. I think I have issues, but that's my
that's part of the reason that guys sweat so much. They really don't realize it. So there's two ways your body can cool down, right? Either your boys can move up and down, or they just sweat, right? Like, dude, that's seriously. So that's why people end up like just going commando, free balling all the time because they're like, dude, I don't want the compression, and then I don't want the sweating. And so their only choice is either you're going to be smashed or you're going to go with the boxer, and you got rubbing, chafing, and other types of issues, right? So that's what we're trying to do is give you the benefits of being commando without having the rubbing, the chafing, and the other issues. So it's about balancing both, but providing separation and support. So we talk about being supportive, like we want our product to be supportive. Most dudes are confusing smashing or compression with support. We want it to be like a cloud holding your package, right? And so we want to support you. But most guys are stuck in an abusive relationship with their underwear. They just don't know it. So So that's why we're here to do a comfort intervention to help people get out of abusive relationships.
There you go. If you're a man, you've got to check it out. If you're a woman, get it for your man. You'll really appreciate it, and it looks great too. Let's get a little bit into the entrepreneurism of this, because that way we don't lose the whole female audience. What made you start this company? How'd you get involved in it? Is it your first startup, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, so I did 20 years in aerospace, which is totally different, right? And then I went and worked at a pet products company for about 5 years. Met a couple guys. Well, it was private equity backed, and so we put together 5 different businesses. One of them was an Amazon pure play, like an e-commerce pure play. So I learned about selling on Amazon from those guys. And then when we looked to exit, and I went to my wife and say, "Hey, we need to start an apparel company." And she's like, "What are you talking about? We know nothing about apparel." I'm like, "But you can't. There's no designs out there that are very good." And she's like, "How do we do that?" I'm like, I'll just start Googling stuff. Anyways, I was designing for about a year. I bought thousands of pairs from all over the world, trying to find stuff that fit my body. Like literally, I bought stuff from all over except for Africa. I don't think I bought anything from Africa. But I came up with my design, sent stuff to factories. It was during COVID, so you couldn't go anywhere. Wow. And started doing samples back and forth. And, so we launched in March of 2022 on Amazon, had sales our first day, and just gone from there. So we did $1 million our first 11 months, wow. $3.5 million in our second year, and then we did about 6 last year. So that's across Amazon, TikTok, and Shopify. But
I think about a third of that was my Amex card. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I bought a lot, because I bought like a whole set of 5s. Yeah. And I I don't know, a week's worth or something of 5s. And then I tried a few different variations. I tried the seal off, and then I just really fell in love with the V. Yeah. I have the long leggings. I need to try the mesh. And then, then I kind of lost weight from, I don't know if the pressure from the compression helped just, liquidate the fat or something in my ass. Yeah. But suddenly, I don't know, they started getting really loose on me, and I had to buy a 4, and I haven't been exercising. I mentioned before, I have an 8 sleep bed, and it's cranked to 10 on the heat during winter. And so I usually wake up pretty much sweating. Yeah. And so I don't know if between the compression, the heat of my bed, and just rubbing that fat maybe, because I was freeballing it before. There was nothing ever giving it friction. Yeah. So I don't know, maybe there's a way to lose weight with friction these days. Don't they have those things? They used to have those things that would rub your butt or your back.
The vibrator things.
The vibrator machines for the NFL people. That, and for people, OnlyFans or something. I don't know. Just kidding. OnlyFans callback jokes. They're the best. So what got you... So you guys have something unique with the ABCD thing, right? Is that kind of what you would call your innovation?
Yeah. So, one, it's the design, just the design itself. So we've got the lift, the shape of the pouch, but then the ABCD. The thing is, there are a couple other brands that have some different external pouches, but it's like Mega Man size and Superman size. I'm like, how do you know what size you are, right? So we wanted to come up with a standard so guys could actually, once they figured out their size, they knew consistently what they needed to order. And so trying to set a standard in the industry for that sizing, similar to a women's bra, right? Even though women's bras have been around forever, women still buy the wrong cup size and that sort of thing. So, it is brand new. And so some guys can get paralyzed. Hey, what size do I buy? And I say, the average size guy is a B, about the size of a tennis ball, right? So the average guy, Twig and Berry, is about the size of a tennis ball, total volume, not the shape, but and so if you're not sure, just go with the B, because the thing is, a B size pouch is going to give you way more space than the traditional, Hanes or Fruit of the Loom or whatever. And even if you're on the larger side, a B is going to be better, right? So if you're not sure, start with the B, and then literally you just DM us. If you get a set and it doesn't fit you, you literally just DM us, and we will send you the other pouch size. You don't have to do a return. I hate returns. Most dudes hate returns. It sucks. Like, the only one that makes money on returns is UPS, right? And so we'll just send you the other size. You just donate them to a local, homeless organization. That's what we do with most of our returns. We just donate them to a homeless organization. So just donate them, and we will send you the other size, because we want to make sure you get set up. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 back and forth, whether it's style, maybe it's the fabric. So maybe they get the modal set and hey, they prefer the nylon. Maybe it's a pouch size. We want to help dial a guy in to what works for him. And then once they do, most guys, once they find something that works for them, they're habitual, right? They'll just keep ordering the same things. Yeah. So we're going to be committed to people. If they're committed to ordering from us, we're going to help them find the right size for them.
Yeah, I basically have 3 different sizes. Now I have 5s, 4s, and 3s. I think I even bought a 2 just to see if I would fit into it, or I'm like, we'll just plan on getting there.
Aspirational. Yes.
Aspirational, yeah. I mean, as long as I'm down to a 3 now. I don't, I don't know what's going on, and I'm not doing anything I am lifting weights and on testosterone. So there's that. It shows on your website about 50% of men are a B cup.
Yeah.
This is just women's bras. They have an A bra, a B bra, a C, and D. And it's pretty amazing. The other thing is I like too is it takes the berries and it moves them forward and outward and upward.
Yeah.
And when I bragged about this on social media, a couple people on Facebook are like, "Oh, it just kind of pushes you up and makes you look bigger." And I'm like, that's not how. I mean, maybe that's how it works, or I don't know what the intent is, but for me, shit gets crushed between the legs. The berries are a problem. Yep. And like I said, I have to sleep with a pillow between my legs, even in the underwear. And, having that pulled out between my legs and not being between there just makes for so much happiness and wonderment. I mean, there's probably sometimes maybe I was walking like a duck half the time or something. I don't know. But
just out here like this.
It just makes so much sense. Does it look good when I'm naked walking around in my underwear in front of somebody I'm dating? Yeah, sure. It looks great. It looks great in my shorts at the gym and every place else, but it kind of looked great before. It's just kind of hanging downwards, so it's just whatever. But the support, I don't know how to tell you, man. The support, the feeling of it is just so wonderful, not just be hanging out there in the wind, freezing your ass off all the time.
Well, the thing is, there's a lot of things that we put a lot of thought into the design. So this comes from the aerospace background, right? Wow. So they're very heavily engineered between the design and the fabric, right? And so there's a lot going on that people wouldn't even think about. So initially, if they look at like our pouch, they're like, holy the cow, that looks like really, really weird, right? It sticks out and, funny, but it's all by design, right? And so, you talk about the lift, but what's happening here when you put weight in that pouch, this material up here, you don't feel this part of the pouch up, right? Yeah. That material stretches. So it's called a cantilever design, kind of like the way that a lot of roofs and stuff are designed. And so this is what's providing that support. So you put weight in here, that stretches, and then this will actually rotate down, right? And so you are getting lift, right? But it is rotating down as it has the weight. And then that seam's going to lock in behind the boys, right? Yeah. And so that's what allows us to have a single pouch. Some pouch products, you like sneeze, you turn sideways and you fall out of things because they're just not designed to lock you in. So but with our pouch, with our single external pouch, when you put the weight in there, that seam's going to rotate up behind you, lock you in, and then it's going to actually provide support. Again, it's the difference between support and compression. But a lot of guys, they've never actually worn anything comfortable. So that's the problem. They just think of either, they got underwear and they just don't think about it until they actually wear something. So you would be surprised how many like women and people that we've had buy our sets because they're like, it's a total gag gift, like a white elephant gift. They're like, oh, this will be great. This is like, it's like, they're going to love this. And like, it's like a white elephant deal. And then the thing is, the guy that gets it, they try them on. They're like, holy cow, these are amazing. And they come back up and buy a whole bunch more. So we totally endorse buying them as white elephant gifts, as like gag gifts and things. It's just like some funny laughing, because the thing is, once a guy actually tries them on, and then they'll wear them for like 3 days, and then they have to go back to their CKs or PSDs or their whatever, and they're like, holy cow, I didn't realize how uncomfortable I was until I actually wore something that actually fit my body.
So you bring up a really good point, that underneath where it kind of meets the base of your berries and I guess your legs, and that support system, because it's almost like a cup for me, and I can feel it sometimes when I put them on. I make sure that I do a little adjusting to make sure I've got that cup under there, and having that support is just amazing. So I've always been one of those people that, like, when I'm sitting, I'll have the worst time. Like, I'm constantly moving and adjusting. Sometimes I have to get up. And with this underwear, the way it pulls me up and outward, I'm not crushing myself while I'm sitting. And then, my girlfriends used to give me the worst time. They're just like, dude, why you're always adjusting yourself in public? Yeah. Like, and I get up from a chair at dinner on a date, and I've got to, move stuff around. I'm constantly, moving stuff in the thing. Yeah. I haven't had to deal with any of that since I got the underwear. Everything is held into place, and it's all good. And I'll give you one other thing, too. I was a miracle baby. So for 3 years, my parents tried to have a baby, and they couldn't have a baby. You know what the problem was? My dad's underwear was too tight.
Yeah.
That was it. It was crushing and cutting off sperm generation. And a lot of guys actually have that. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
If they want to have kids and, you crush all, you wear those tighty whities, man. They're just smashers, man. It's horrible.
It's the heat, right? Because literally that's what that's why you're sweating, is because the body's trying to save the swimmers, right?
Yeah. So I got a vasectomy, so I don't have to worry about the swimmers nowadays.
Yeah. Well, if you just would have wore tight polyester underwear, you wouldn't have had to worry about a vasectomy.
That's true. There you go. Tidy whities.
But yeah, so that heat, the heat causes it's killing them, and that's why you're sweating so much. Your body just keeps sweating to try to save your sperm. Right. And so if you there's from a reproductive health standpoint, you really shouldn't be wearing any of that stuff that is smashing you. And also polyester, there's polyester has been linked to male infertility. Right. So a combination between, a lot of the chemicals used in the manufacture of polyester, not so good. So a lot of people lump all synthetics together. Nylon is very different than polyester. Right. And so you don't have those types of issues with the nylon. That's why we use nylon. And nylon's a cooling material versus polyester is actually warm material. So between the compression, the material itself, it's going to actually warm you up, and so it's just you're going to sweat more wearing a polyester. So we say do not wear any polyester, especially underwear, because it's not good for you. It's not healthy.
In this summer, I was having a hard time converting to. I've been having a hard time this year. I haven't converted to summer. It took me like all 3 months to finally get my body to change over to, summer. And then it did the. I've been suffering the same thing through winter. I can't seem to get hydrated enough with whatchamacallit. But I did notice that I had one hell of a hot box during summer. And so I'm glad you came out with the mesh, because I think I'm going to try the mesh. Is the mesh a nylon or is it the modal?
It's a nylon. Yeah, it's a nylon. So I haven't been able to make a modal mesh that I like yet.
Yeah, the modal's nice. It's just a little too soft and not quite as supportive as I need with the nylon. I can see why a lot of people like it. The breathing probably is better on it, but I'm gonna have to try. I'm gonna have to try the mesh so that I can check that out and the breathing. I got so hot going to the gym. I was usually burning up at the gym. That's where I was getting overheated. Yeah. And so I had to buy some gym shorts that would breathe stuff. But I got to try the mesh too. But I got to tell you, I love it. I've recommended it to everybody. I've told people about it. It's kind of weird how guys are kind of skittish about talking about this shit.
They are.
It's like, I'm not asking to show you my stuff in the gym or anything, like a locker room. We're not.
Yeah. So like you're starting around or anything. That's the thing is so that's part of the mission of our business as well, is like to just give guys better vocabulary and just comfort level talking about their body so either dudes don't talk about it or it's like hypersexualized, if they do, right? And so they don't talk to their sons, they don't talk to their doctors, they don't talk to others, about their bodies. And so trying to give a little better language as well, like for guys to be more, to empower them to be able to share and talk about this stuff. And like, hey, it's important for you to be comfortable, right? And you're going to be more comfortable, confident as you do that. So there's a broader mission there, but it's like, okay, we try to just use certain terms and phrases to arm guys with, so that they can talk about it and just be more open about it. But it's not something that we're gonna necessarily fix per se. We want to help move that along and help guys feel more comfortable with it.
Yeah, I had stitched into the back of the underwear, asked me about my underwear, and was walking around the locker room that way and got some weird looks. No, I'm just
bumper sticker on the back.
Ask me about there's always those guys in the locker room at the gym that are just out there free balling, waving stuff around. They're swinging it like this. It's always those guys trolling for I don't know what they're up to. But no, I love the underwear, man. I mean, you've literally saved and changed my life. Like I'm not even kidding you. You changed the quality of my life, my daily experience of my life. And like I say, I feel more confident. I feel more put together. I don't feel like there's a part of me that's on its own little program. The whole constantly, doing the baseball thing where you're adjusting stuff, you should actually get the NBA to do it, or what's the baseball association?
The MLB.
The NLB, yeah. You need to get the NLB in it, so they don't have to be doing the moving around there, the pitcher on the mound all the time there.
I have had a pitcher from the Braves bought 10 of my jocks. So he, like literally, I was packing orders one day, and I'm like dude, this is shipping to Brave Stadium. So we don't have a deal or anything with him, but he bought 10 of the jocks. And so
nice.
So we do have some pro athletes wearing the product, but we don't have any endorsements per se. So I don't want to get out there on the underwear. I mean, it's kind of hard because you have all the Nikes now, like they have their own underwear brands. And so these guys have sponsorships and they can't really say they're locked up. And so we can't quite compete with Nike and Under Armour yet for professional athletes.
The other thing I love about you, we should really point out, is because you guys love fat fuckers like me. I'm a big guy. I'm 300 pounds. Yeah. And so 9 times out of 10, when I find underwear that might work for me, it's not made for me. It's made for some 20-year-old wasted guy that's, 110 pounds or something like that. And so the beauty is you guys go all the way up to 5X. Yeah. And then, of course, the ABCD. And so that was the first thing I bought was the 5X. And when I got them, I was like, holy shit, I can fit in these, Yeah. And a lot of underwear and jeans and companies, they just say fuck you to anybody who's got, I don't know, waist size over 40 or 36.
Yeah, I mean they go up to 1X, 2X maybe. So like most stores, you're like 2X, small to 2X, and so they just don't care, right? And so that's where we're trying to, we love to go above that, right? But as a startup, I mean, I already have 36 sizes, right? We're already the most size inclusive men's underwear brand in the world. You guys do have a lot of sizes, yeah. Right? And so from an inventory standpoint, that's a big deal to try to manage that. We have thousands of SKUs just because anytime we launch a new product, we literally have 36 SKUs. Wow. And so, but of course, when we first launched, we just did a D size because those guys were the most underserved in the market. Oh, yeah. So for the first 18 months, we just sold a D. And so it was the 9 waist sizes and just the D size. And it wasn't until about 18 months ago we started launching the A, B, and C. But the thing is guys on the larger side are just getting hosed, right? And so we charge the same regardless of the size, right? So even though an extra small is like this big, and the amount of material and things in there, it's more, right? And it costs us more. We don't think guys should be getting charged or gouged just because they have a different size, right? And so we're trying to provide a custom fit without the custom price, right? So that's the goal: custom fit without the custom price, and so guys can feel comfortable and confident regardless of their shape and size. The thing is, like a lot of brands that are even like close to comparable from either a material or a fit, they're like $35 a pair, right? And so we're also like, we're not cheap. We're not like a Hanes, Walmart where you're going to buy like a 12 pack for $5 or something like that, right? They're going to stretch out and not fit after 2 weeks. But so we're competing against guys that are selling $25 to $35 a pair, and we're typically about a 3-pack for $30, depending on the set, $30 to $40 for a 3-pack, and we're way more reasonable than anything out there that's comparable from a quality standpoint. Now, some people are like, I bought something just like that off Temu. No, you didn't. Right? This is designed for a 4-year-old, right? And it's going to fall apart in 3 washings, right? And so if you want to roll the dice and buy something like that off Temu, I guess you go for it. But those are not the customers we're necessarily going after. It's people that really care about their fit and their feel, and so like. I've had a hard time even working with some of my factories getting the fit right because they look at it, they're like, that's not how you make underwear. I'm like, dude, that's how you make our underwear. And so I'm not so worried about people copying our stuff because they can't even copy it right usually because they don't understand like how a guy's body is really made. And anyway.
Plus some of those Chinese might need a negative A. I don't know what that means. So there's a A for the billiard ball. All right, let me set this up right. So you guys have a quiz thing on your site. You talk about this on the TikTok channel too. Yeah. You have an A size is about a billiard ball size of berries. Yeah. A tennis ball, which is the average U.S. male, is a B. You guys are average. Sounds like you're Trojans too. I have to wear Maxim XLs. Pickleball is the C, and then D is softball. Yeah, and then I think I'm volleyball, but it seems to work for me. So people can go to your website; they can see what size fits for everything. But no, I got to tell you, the comfort level, the fact that it pulls it forward too, out of your legs. Yeah, I really like it. Like I'm sitting right now, and it's really comfortable. Like normally, they would move underneath between the legs, and you're just like, oh God, I gotta move around and do all this just to be able to sit without that. I didn't really become aware of how much I was adjusting all the time till, girlfriends yelled at me or this. And it's so nice not to be constantly mucking about, playing the pitch.
Yeah. I mean, most guys don't realize how much they're adjusting there until they actually wear something that they don't have to, and they're like, holy, and then they have to go back, right? It's when you have that contrast where you try something and then you go back to whatever brand you're wearing, and they're like, holy cow, this is like, it's not good.
Yeah. I think it's cool. Tell us about, from the business entrepreneurial side, what has it been like selling on TikTok? A lot of people, I've seen a lot of really successful business entrepreneurs launch on and sell stuff on TikTok. Some of it's, they're reselling stuff. It becomes annoying, I think, sometimes. But, for getting the word out for what you've done, I actually thought about starting to affiliate sell them on the thing. Yeah. I was like, do I want to appear or do I want to at least show what I look like and there's guys doing it on TikTok now. God bless them. Yeah. I'm not sure if that's the real thing. It seems like there's some guys doing like trampoline stuff. I don't know.
Cody does the tramps.
Like, God bless you, son. Yeah. That's in the internet forever. But what has it like been selling on TikTok? Did you start out there with TikTok and how that changed your world?
We started on Amazon 3 years ago, and that's all we were doing. And then it was just a little over a year ago, really, when TikTok Shop came out. We were one of the first ones to really jump on there and started live streaming. So it's just the week, Thanksgiving week last year, and it was crazy. It literally like saved our business because the sales were just absolutely amazing. There wasn't as many people live streaming, actually selling products. But the thing is, the cool thing about TikTok live streaming, and I was doing the live streaming, right? So for the first 8 months, I did all the live streams. The thing is, we were able to actually talk to our customer and share with people, because you can only tell so much of a story on Amazon with an image, right? With a picture. Like, and when we talk about comfort, talk about these types of issues. But we're on TikTok, it's like interactive. Of course, you get a lot of haters coming in there. They're sure. The coolest thing on TikTok is when you bring somebody in, and we've got mannequins, and you got this big old pouch and stuff, and they're like, they come in there and they're making fun of the stuff, and the guys will come in as a hater, right? And they're just like, why is this under my FYP? This is stupid, and they're just like totally hating on things. But they come in there, they're in the comments. And then you talk a little longer, and then they're like, oh, that actually kind of makes sense. Yeah. And then a little while longer, they're like, I just bought a set. And then they come back on another live, and they're like, this changed my life. And so there's times we'll have 30, 40, 50 return customers in the live stream, like talking about like the product and how amazing it is. And they're answering the questions. Like somebody's like asking something in comments, and we've got customers that are answering questions. That's how passionate they are about the product. But the thing is, with the live stream, it's just a lot more interactive. It's direct. Now, when I was live streaming, they're talking to the designer, they're talking to the owner, right? So then it helps people feel a lot more of a connection to the brand versus just some random Chinese brand selling TikTok that's got some random letters, their name. Like, what is this? And so like they actually know who they're talking to, right? And you're talking about real problems that real guys have, and we're trying to help solve that solution. Not just trying to sell more stuff cheap, but trying to sell something that's better. And so which is like way different than most of the stuff that's on TikTok. I mean, there's some good stuff on there, but as far as something that's innovative and new. And so TikTok just absolutely helped us a ton. And the thing is, when we go live on TikTok and start and sell, a lot of people weren't comfortable buying off TikTok, so then they'd go to Amazon and buy. So we're seeing a 50 to 80% increase in our Amazon branded traffic while we're live on TikTok. So it helped us a ton. And TikTok paid fast, and they had all sorts of subsidies last year, which was like stupid crazy. So like 95% margins for like 4 months that we were selling on there, which was awesome, right? So we loved it. Yeah,
I'll bet. And that's how I discovered you guys. I was cruising TikTok, and I was like, what the fuck is this going on? Yeah. And since I know I live with this problem, I was like, shit, that might really help me. And I didn't think about my hernia. So if you have an integral hernia, whatever it's called, I got from weightlifting, it can really give you some support until you can get the surgery done. Yeah. And so that was really important. But yeah, you guys give great customer service. I ordered the modals, and I didn't like them because they didn't quite give me the support. They feel good, but they didn't give me the support I wanted. I asked to return them for the other ones, and you guys just gave me this. You guys just wrote it off and said donate them to to somebody. You guys I've asked you over different things, and you guys have given great customer service. So I really appreciate that. I mean, like you said, the integration of your stuff. How do you feel if TikTok gets shut down? That's been a topic we've been kicking around lately.
That was stink. We love TikTok. I mean, just it's a great place for people to connect and not just get stuck in like a echo chamber. That's so, because they're pushing stuff based off virality versus like followers, you're really seeing other stuff like on your feed. And so you get exposed to a lot of different stuff that you wouldn't normally if you're on like IG or YouTube Shorts or like Facebook. And so I really like the fact that you get exposed to a lot of different stuff. And I mean, it's been absolutely amazing for businesses because, it allows smaller people to just jump in. If you have a good product and you can be engaging on TikTok, it's about it, it's it's entertainment, infotainment. And so it just allows, if you're an engaging host, you can just jump on there and sell stuff. And so there's been a lot of stay-at-home moms. It's like, it's changed their lives because they can go and stream and create some content and get in front of millions of people. And just, so it's been just total game changer for a lot of people around the country. And the thing is, that's where selling is going. If you go in Asia, like 80% of apparel in Asia is sold through a live stream, particularly women's apparel. Yeah. So they're about 4 to 5 years ahead of the US. And this is not like QVC type stuff, right? So that's what a lot of people don't understand, especially big corporate people. They don't understand live streaming, social live streaming and selling on there. And so they think of just infomercials and QVC type stuff. It's totally different. It's a lot more interactive. And so that's where social selling, e-commerce is going to a social selling type model. It's just U.S. is a bit behind.
Yeah. And we triumph entrepreneurs here. Of course, I'm an entrepreneur since 18. And so that's why I love when people can cross into that realm and do it successfuland I love TikTok. I think seeing them, there was some people they're making like, they're reselling products and stuff. So they're, and they're selling sometimes some really cheap stuff that's like $5 price wise in cheapness. And they're like, hey, there's this little drone or something. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. And they're not really a company like your company is, where they're designing and bringing stuff in from China. They're just someone who's doing affiliate sort of stuff. And I've heard of people making 30, 40, 50, 60 grand a month doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, holy shit, what am I doing wrong with it? But no, I love that, like you say, moms and different people can just become overnight entrepreneurs.
Yeah, they can jump on there and just partner with us. So we have hundreds of people. We send out 50 to 100 samples a week to different affiliates for TikTok, right? And so people that want to post content. Now, it's, 10% of those are really going to drive the biggest amount of sales. And so we have Native Princess, we have Cody Karma, we have a handful of people that are live streaming for us that are affiliates. Cody, he's the one he was just a customer, right? He's the backflip dude with the pants. He had some video on IG, 40 million views. I'm like, who is this dude? And I'm like, he's wearing our pants. And so I message him like, you want some more product and stuff? He's getting like all these, of course, he's trying to drive stuff all to his OF, right? And
he's got an OF?
Oh, yeah. That's what he's doing. But we got him set up on TikTok as an affiliate, and he's doing decent numbers on TikTok with the jocks and our pants. And so, I mean, it's crazy. We work with a whole bunch of different people, and so we love working with affiliates, guys. Because why not? I would rather them make money than Amazon or Zuckerberg, running ads on Facebook. I'd rather have Cody have 20% than Zuck have 20% and pay.
Well, he's got OnlyFans. He probably has 20% or more. I thought about doing either a channel for you guys or just selling it because there's few products that I love this much that, it has literally changed my life. Like the support, the warmth. I think that was the big thing I was missing is the warmth.
Yeah.
And, when you're freeballing it or you would live in boxers, I think I gave up on boxers. I just wore shorts all the time. Yeah. And it's cold. And they're of a size that they're not crawling back up into my body very well. I suppose if you have a small package, you get cold, it's a crawl. But they're not going anywhere. So things hurt. But not having to bang around, sitting, walking, standing, sleeping, I just love them. And it's just my confidence level, my just feeling put together all the time. I just didn't realize how much it was impacting me. And a lot of guys are, we're kind of power through sort of dudes. As dudes, we just go, fuck it, I'm uncomfortable, whatever. Life's uncomfortable for us. And then, sometimes we're cheap. We're like, we'll just buy the tidy whities because they're $5 for a pack of 4. Yeah. But these are worth it. These are so worth it. And then another plug I can give, I've been buying since January of last year. So I've had these for a year now. And they're holding up. They're keeping up. I haven't trashed them up like I normally thrash up everything. My sweat's got a thing too where it eats shit. I don't know what it is. Like on all my headphones, it'll eat the plastic and glue. Yeah, you can see it's hanging off of some of our headphones here. Yeah. For some reason, my sweat eats shit. It's like acid. It's like acid. I'm like one of those alien beings, basically. And it's like any headphones I get, my hair sweat will eat the thing, my skin sweat. And so they've held up, man. They haven't raggled or gone bad on me. They're still as firm as they were. And like I say, I've just been downsizing as I've been going, and I'm really comfortable. Do you make so I usually buy the V, those are the most. I buy the nylon 7-inch boxer briefs with a V-fly. Mm-hmm. And is that in mesh yet?
So that set that we just launched, or we're working through some stuff right now, and we'll have it out here probably next week or so. So it's a 4-pack 7-inch inseam V-fly, the initial set. So working on some other colors right now, and so that's where we're working at, expanding color availability as well as we grow, because everything's bootstrapped, right? So my wife and I just took all of our, our savings from the last deal that we were doing and threw it in there. And so that and a bunch of credit card debt, right? I mean, we've got $1 million in inventory between all the sizes, right? To be able to make it happen, because that's the big thing, is just have enough cash. So it's like people are like, oh, you should do this size and this color. I'm like, dude, every time I launch a size, it's gonna take me 40 grand of inventory.
36 variations.
Yeah. So it's not just, I just want to do this and that. And so we're trying to launch more. And so we're rotating more color. So we're doing some, like one time we'll have one color set, and then we'll sunset those and another one. And so we're getting some different options for guys, because there are some people that literally they're buying. I have people that bought every single set of ours. Wow. And so as I launch more colors, they just keep buying it, which is super cool. So about 50% of our orders on Amazon daily are return customers, right? Yeah. So we're 20 to 30% on TikTok as far as return customers. And then of course on our Shopify, more like 70% return customers. So that's the cool thing, is having people just keep coming back and buying the product, because once they find, like I said, a product that works for them, they will they're really, really loyal.
I've spent about $500 or $600, maybe it may be more than that, with all the shipping and stuff, but I think it's roughly about $500 or $600 that I've spent. I've even tried the strapless jock. It's the 9 and 7-inch boxers that I like. I like the really long boxers,
the longer one.
I don't know why, but I don't know. They just seem to work. For some reason, the smaller ones will creep up on me. It's probably because I'm a fat.
Well, it depends on your thigh, and so that's where a lot of and so this is one thing. Like if something's not fitting a guy right, we want to have a conversation with him, understand. Okay, what is his waist? Where your glute? What is your thigh? Right? Because there's some things that are just not going to work for battling against the thigh. That thin material is not just going. It's going to lose the battle against a thigh, right? Depending on the size. So you need to go go with something that's longer than the widest diameter of your thigh, so you're getting below kind of that area. So especially guys, if they have a thigh to thigh rubbing issue, and so I've lost some weight the last little bit, and so I used to have more thigh to thigh rubbing, and so the longer one was I absolutely need it. Now I've lost some weight, I don't have that issue as much, and that's part of that chafing, right? People get this you get skin to skin rubbing, you get skin to material rubbing, but the chafing is made worse with the sweat, right? So when dudes are sweating, it leaves salt deposits along your legs, and so then it's kind of like having sand. It's like having sand in your shoes, but it's in your pants, but it's a lot smaller. People don't even think about it but that salt buildup, and then you get that skin to skin rubbing, and that's what leads to the guys chafing so much. And so with our product, since you get that separation, you're not having as much sweat, and because you have that the package protected, even if you do sweat, you're not going to get that skin to skin rubbing that leads to the chafing with that salt buildup.
I've ordered some of the smaller boxer briefs, and they just kind of ride up on me, and I don't like it. I used to race BMX bikes, so I've got these massive legs that that are muscled up and stuff. But I can see how somebody else might like them, but it's just not my type of thing. But yeah, you've got the strapless jocks, the 9-inch briefs, the 3-inch briefs. You got all sorts of variations that people can take and participate in. I like the leggings. I started wearing the leggings this winter. I got some weird looks at the gym a little bit. I of course wear shorts over the.
I was going to say there's guys that are just wearing the leggings. I'm like, that's not what they're designed for. But I mean, like Cody and some of these other guys, I mean, they're just like, they're out there. And so I'm like, they're like, can I wear this in public? I'm like, maybe San Francisco maybe a little easier, but if you're in Kansas where I am, you might get arrested. But they're
I would get arrested. I would. They would come to me at the gym. I'm surprised they haven't come to the gym already and just gone, dude, your shorts are too small. But hey, those girls wear those yoga shorts where I can basically see what they ate last year, or whatever. I mean, I go to a gym that has a lot of college people at it, and I don't. You look at their shorts and you're like, did you paint those on, or what's going on there, honey? And anyway, something about camels. So people can check them out. I love them. I kind of love this. I love the compression support. And like I said, I kind of feel like it's either the friction or the heat has helped me lose weight, burn off fat cells. I don't know if someone may scientifically say I'm full of shit, and maybe I am. But I don't know. I mean, I've gone from a 5 to a 4, and now I'm like a 3 and a 4 between the two of them. So maybe you also help in fat loss. So the compression you're getting accustomed to some of the fits. Now we are making like that's one of the things about our brand though, is we get feedback from just different customers. We are making adjustments to some of the sizing as well, right? So we're tweaking things between production run to try to dial that in, because I'm a large, right? I'm a 30. I bounce around between 33 and 36 inch waist, and so I can design stuff and I know what it fits for me. But somebody that's a 3X or somebody that's an extra small, it's going to fit different for them. But I mean, sometimes you do have guys that are like an extra small, they're really small waist, but they got a big old glute, big old thighs, because they're a rugby player, they're a soccer, BMX, right? And so trying to dial in those body sizes, and so that's one of the goals that we have, is to expand the size types that we have, so that guys with different body type, because you have some guys that are a 5X, but they got no butt and they got chicken legs, right? And so then you got other guys that have big glutes, big thighs, and so so we want to be able to provide better fits for all these different guys, right? And so that's part of the goal, is to really just continue to expand that. And that's one of our moats, like from a business standpoint, is other brands, I mean, they're lucky to do small to extra large, and we're just like expanding out the sizes. And so we're able to get more of those customers in there to really have just never been able to find something that works really well for them. And so now the majority of our sales are like a medium and large, right? And so and the B size pouch, but as we expand things, we're just going to start spoiling people to where we're going to raise the standard of what guys are expecting from their clothes. And so it's not just right now it's underwear, because that's the area that we can really attack, but really how do we do that with other products as well as shirts and pants and things, just so guys can actually have products that actually fit them, and so they look good and they feel good. But do it at a reasonable price, right? So the guys aren't just feeling like they're getting taken advantage of. Yeah. And the prices are reasonable. I mean, they're definitely worth it. I mean, like I said, I've had mine for a year. The feeling, the warmth, the support, not having to constantly adjust, I can sit for hours comfortably now. You guys go from waist size extra small to, I feel bad for whoever that is. I wish I was like 110 at 20 years old. I missed that. All the way up to 5XL. And that's why I really loved you guys and checked you out, because I'm like, holy shit, stuff that can weigh. And the other thing is too, the supportive, I imagine the modal's the same, but it supports my bowels and my stomach too. It comes up over the belly button there. And so it helps kind of give my fat belly some support. As it were. I mean, I've lived in shorts most of my life, and people are like, why do you live that way? And I'm like, you knew. We have problems. I have to have everything custom made for me. One of my problems, like with shirts, is I can't buy shirts off the rack. I have to have them adjusted. If I hold my arm out, my arms will stick out 2 to 3 inches. Same thing with pants. I've always got to have the pants adjusted so I can live in them. And so my life is hell. But you saved me from it.
So I appreciate the feedback. And that's the thing is like, there's some people we didn't even think about, like as we were designing. And so I've had guys reach out to me and call me and just say, we're so grateful for this product. I have some guys that are double amputees, right? So they have 2 prosthetics and they're everything's rubbing on these prosthetics all day long, right?
Oh, wow.
And so they're like, if it wasn't for the lift from the pouch and separation, like it literally changed their lives. Their lives just completely sucked. I'm like, oh, I didn't even design anything for double prosthetic. So there's been guys that are just different situations. People have had a lot of guys have had different types of surgeries and things. They need ice packs, they need pads, they need other types of things for that in the pouch. And it's really just helped a ton of guys just be a lot more comfortable and confident as they deal with these other types of issues. Because there are some other products out there that support people when they're having hernias or vasectomies and things like that. They're designed like a medical instrument, right? They look like it and feel like it. So, like they're able to actually wear products and it's just like their normal underwear, and it's literally helped them just feel way different. And so it's awesome when you're able to have that type of impact with people's lives. You didn't even think about it, right? And
I actually bought some hernia supporting shit. Most annoying stuff in it ever. It was chafing and tearing me out. Like, I don't even know where. It's like Velcro based. You're like, oh my God. Anything more we need to know, Jared, as we go out? Give us your final pitch out for people to check you out, and NordyOnline.com, all that good stuff.
Yeah, so rmac.store, right? And so that's the website. And just, I would say if you want to feel different, you need to try something different. And our product looks weird, right? And that's fine. We understand that. It looks weird. But if you want something to feel different, you got to look a little different. And so there's a lot of dudes that they'll like all the decisions that they're making as far as like their clothes and their underwear, they think about how they're going to look in the gym, and they totally make that decision based on what are the guys going to think about when they see me in the gym wearing this? And then even though 99% of guys don't actually change in a gym, but they're stuck in a high school locker room and they're thinking about that judgment, and so they just don't actually try something that's a lot more comfortable. The thing is, we have like 98% spousal approval rating as well. So like, guys look better. Their significant others are generally very complimentary of them, just because they're used to wearing and seeing their significant other wearing something that's just smashing them. And so there's no pad, there's no underwire, but it's kind of like a push-up bra for your pack. I mean, you look different when you're wearing it, but you're going to feel different. But you got to kind of get over that get out of your head and just actually try it. And then you'll absolutely love it. And if you don't, we'll just give you your money. We'll either give you your money back, we'll send you another set, or I will, if there's a body type issue, I will point you to some other brands that may work better for you. Like I said, I bought stuff from all over the world. I know most of the products out there. Now, if our stuff doesn't work for you, it's probably going to cost you $30, $40 a pair, or you're going to get something custom, right? But we want to help you find something that actually works for your body. But yeah, check us out on rmac.store. That's the best way. We have better deals there, because if you buy something from us on Amazon, like Bezos takes half of it. So if you buy something from us for $40 there, Amazon takes 50%, but it's going to ship from the same place. Whether you buy it from Amazon or buy it from our website, buy it from TikTok, it usually ships from an Amazon warehouse. That's where we keep most of our inventory, and we just route the orders there. So you're getting prime shipping speeds, whether you buy it from us, buy it TikTok. But we prefer you buy it from our store, because then we can support you better. And of course the margins are better, and so then we'll usually give you discounts, right? You can go sign up on our website and get a discount code, 20 to 30% off, depending on email or SMS. And we're doing, deals and stuff all the time to try to give our loyal customers the best deal, because we'd rather have you work directly with you versus on Amazon.
Yeah, and I've seen that too. I've been like, hey, there's a deal. I think I took advantage of some Black Friday sales and stuff like that. So, and you bring up a good point. Now, I've never gotten any weird looks in the gym. Most people aren't looking at everybody's crotch in the gym. Yeah. Unless you go to West Hollywood gym maybe. And, no one really gives a shit. Half the guys in the gym at my gym, they're busy taking pictures of themselves in the mirror going like this, So they're not like sitting there going, what are you wearing there, buddy? That would be a little weird. But I got to tell you, the girls, I catch looks at the gym because I wear short shorts at the gym, and part of the reason I have to do is I have to support that hernia, especially if I'm lifting. So I've got to make sure everyone's in the right place, or else I can make things worse. Yeah, I'm getting that fixed here soon. But But even then, like I get looks at the gym from women. And if a gal you're dating or your girlfriend, or I don't know, I'm not married, sees you in these things, well, she's going to like you. She's going to like you. She might, I don't know, give you some attention and visiting or something. She might be like, I'm going to stay with this guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. So thank you very much for coming on. Give us your .com so people can find you on the interwebs.
rmac.store. So rmac.store.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it even looks good in my normal shorts when I walk around. Even in slacks, it looks great. Yeah. And I still can't fold my legs over like that, but I don't want to.
You don't want to. This is not going to help you do that because, so there's still something there.
Well, thank you very much, Jared, for coming on. Thanks you for starting the entrepreneur journey. This is the thing we triumph about entrepreneurs is they change people's lives, sometimes in a much bigger way than they even anticipated. You know, most people that start out as entrepreneurs, they find a project and they go, this doesn't work right for me. This could be made better. I've got some ideas, and they kind of solve their own problem, and then they realize that other people may have those problems. And that's just such the beauty of entrepreneurism that we just love and champion on the show. There you go. Thank you, Jared, for coming on the show. Thanks, Miles, for tuning in to the Chris Voss Show, Underwear Twig and Berries edition. Watch for an alternative podcast coming out soon where that's all we talk about is underwear. Thanks so much for tuning in. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss, Chris Voss1 on the TikTokity, and all those crazy places on the internet. Be good to each other. Stay safe. We'll see you next time.